So what does archaeology actually do? Some of you in the audience might be thinking that archaeology can give us insights about who we are, where we've come from, maybe even that we can get insights about where we're going with archaeology. But the cost of the excavations that give us these kinds of insights is high, and I don't think anyone's really expecting archaeology to cure cancer. What if archaeology could do more? What if archaeology could benefit the participant, the digger in the trench, the excavator, just as much as it benefits the researcher? I'm the co-founder and CEO of American Veterans Archaeological Recovery. We're a 501c3 that places disabled military veterans on archaeological excavations for the purposes of rehabilitation and to allow them to better transition into civilian lives. And we know that archaeology can do more. Now, if you look at this slideshow behind me, you might think that this is a typical excavation, if you can call this typical, at the world-class site of Vindolanda in northern England. What you might not necessarily realize is that everyone in this image, with the exception of Andy Burley in the back there, the project director, is a veteran who's coping with some type of disability. You can tell that I used to be an officer because I'm standing back there in the back with Andy and not doing any actual work. So, excuse me, I've lost my place in my... So the British pioneered this program in 2011, and that's what you're actually looking at here. I began working with the British in 2015, and I really saw firsthand the benefits that archaeology could have for the participant. Now, we can't cure PTSD. We can't cure a back that's been essentially destroyed by too many ruck marches over long distances. We can't cure joints that have hit the ground too many times too hard. And unfortunately, we can't cure anxiety, which is a particular sticking point of mine, as my particular trigger for my anxiety happens to be public speaking. So, hello, absolutely massive audience out there. I'm glad I haven't fainted yet, but give me another minute and 15 seconds. Hi. But as anyone who's been on excavation knows, what archaeology can do is build a sense of community. We can take individuals, and over the course of the excavation, we can build them into a team and even a family. We can cure the disempowerment and the isolation that so many veterans feel as they transition from the military into civilian life. That's what archaeology can do. We can give these individuals a new mission that they can accomplish with the same team. And because the British programs have been operating since 2011, we have peer-reviewed literature that shows that this actually works. We just have to refine that process and make it bigger for our guys. So what does this actually look like? This looks like a Marine sergeant whose ankle was shattered during a combat deployment and who now spends her time taking care of her children and her husband at home. He's still an active duty Marine. We can put her on a dig and let her to continue to pursue excellence the same way she did in the Marine Corps on the archaeological site. We can let her know that her leadership skills are very much still in demand. This looks like a young Navy corpsman who was injured by multiple improvised explosive devices and who is now struggling to transition into the civilian world. We can let him know that the best adventures in his life are ahead of him instead of behind. That's what archaeology can do, and that's what we're going to continue to allow archaeology to do on our upcoming excavations in Israel and England later this year. And we thank National Geographic for their support in this. Thank you all.